What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Going to be showing off Hunter Butler's top 8 Stunfisk Spiritomb deck from the North American International Championships. If you're catching this on YouTube, make sure to check me out on Twitch and give the channel a follow at twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where I stream every single weekday. Yeah, with that last game, I was thinking that even if they do like full blitz one of my GXs, I was thinking that I would be able to potentially get a one-hit KO on a Pikarom with a Stunfisk, because if I have all 6 Pokemon on my bench with a damage counter on it, then I can, or all 6 Pokemon in play with damage counters on it, then I could do 180 plus a Choice Band, that's 210, plus 1 E-Power. I was thinking that I might actually be able to just one-hit KO the Pikarom. So that's kind of what I was thinking about. And I was not anticipating them getting a Tag Bolt GX. All right, so we've got Stunfisk. Probably just lead with Stunfisk, right? Yeah, Stunfisk seems like the one to lead with if you were going to lead with somebody. And we'll see what deck my opponent's playing. The damage movers are kind of crazy in this deck too, because you can just get damage on the Spiritomb, move it up to somebody else. There's a lot of synergy there. It's kind of neat. Put damage on the Stunfisk and use like Electric Trap for a lot of damage. So might just do that here turn 1. Like we've got the Building Sprite. We can Damage Mover up to the Stunfisk. That's cool. And then next turn we could potentially get a bigger attack with Electric Trap. So let's just go for the turn 1 Cynthia. Fine with that. And we've got some pretty good stuff here. Another Spiritomb, we can Building Sprite that, another Stunfisk, cool. And I don't think I necessarily need to play any of these things down yet, though I could just like ham the deck out and go use the Kartana and everything, but I don't actually know what my opponent's playing yet. So I'm gonna just kind of hang tight here, see what they're playing, and then respond to it next turn. I'll probably just put, what's up, Axela-san? Thank you so much, Axela-san. Appreciate it. We'll put the rainbow energy there and just go ahead. Thank you for that sub. 6 months. Enjoy your new 6-month sub badge, Axela. But yeah, so we're set up pretty good. I mean, we see we already got 3 Pokemon in play with damage counters on them. We could Electric Trap for 90 there, base 90, which is cool. I could even use Damage Mover to put a damage counter onto this Stunfisk here, and then use the Building Sprite again, and then we can Electric Trap for even more, which is crazy, right? So, did I call this Building Sprite? Building Sprite, you know, like the drink, Building Sprite, very good. You know, he's like LeBron James, sponsored by Sprite, very good. So we've got Reshiram and Charizard GX over here, and we should have a pretty favorable matchup against this. This is kind of exactly what you want to play against with the Spiritomb Stunfisk deck. And thank you so much, Axela-san, for those 200 bits. Making your way onto the bit leaderboard this week. Awesome stuff, and thank you so much for all of your support for the channel. Looks like they're going to start off with a Flare starter here, get some energy onto that Pokemon over there, and this is why I waited for the Dedenne. I wanted to kind of, you know, figure out what my move was going to be first. So I think we can actually just hit this thing for a ton of damage this turn, which is kind of crazy. So we can Building Sprite here, right? And then Building Sprite here. And then you put 4 damage counters on this thing, 30 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Like, we could just do that, move there to there, and then Guzma, that thing, shirt. And then we could Dedenne-GX, draw some more cards, and kind of just be in there. It seems fine. No use using the Kartana-GX. Not really into that. It's fine. We've got Shrine that's most excellent. So we will definitely be utilizing the Shrine to do some more damage, also damaging our Dedenne-GX, which is sweet. And then I kind of need to nest ball for another, let's see, we could do Absol would be pretty good. But I'm thinking here, just another Spiritomb is probably good. And we start loading up more damage in play with building Sprite. That's good. And then we'll take some damage. Everybody gets some damage. Language cry. There we go. So 160 damage there with the Guzma. Not bad. Non-GX attacker. They've got only 100 hit points left. We should be able to hit that 100 pretty easily with something or another. And you can see how this matchup's pretty favorable, right? I mean, they do have the option to Guzma, KO, things like Dedenne-GX, which is mildly annoying. However, if they do that, they are leaving Spiritomb, right? Which is kind of the reason why this deck was getting some comparisons to Night March, because it just has these very powerful low HP non-GX attackers that your opponent more or less has to deal with. So let's see here. We're not actually in there yet with the Spiritomb unless we hit a... I think I could just safely go with Stunfisk. That's probably fine. And hit this thing for like 30. Go from there. Build up some other attackers. Oh, what's up, Kevin? Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate it. We give ourselves the chance to hit the Damage Mover, though. If we hit Damage Mover, we actually do take a knockout on this thing, which is kind of interesting. So we can probably just do that. Or we just go in, poke the thing. Brian, thank you for those bits, Brian. Give me a second. I'll read that message. I'm just trying to figure out this turn and not mess it up too much, if you feel me. All right. So I think here we're like fine to just kind of carry on doing some very normal stuff, right? And we just leave the Buzzwole on the bench. That way if they take a knockout on Stunfisk or whatever, then we have the potential to Guzma and do that, which is cool. We can put a damage counter on like all my Pokemon to kind of power up my thing here by just attaching to the Stunfisk. That's cool. We'll do that. I can afford to waste one of these, and then we'll just Lillie for 5. So we did not hit the Damage Mover, which is kind of what I was thinking, which is cool. So this ended up being the right play. We'll building Sprite here and here. Just kind of get some more damage on board. And then I'm going to Raging Thunder, deal 60 damage. I mean, I'm 30 short of being able to actually just the quad or the, triple Electropower. Would be kind of crazy. I do need an energy for next turn, but it's fine. We'll just put damage on my Buzzwole and go from there. So we can just do Guzma on the Reshizard and maybe Ultra Ball for a Let Loose or a Dedenne to try and draw more cards this next turn. But they're going to take out my Dedenne-GX, which means that I get to keep my energy, which I do really like. All right, Brian with the 100 bits. Thank you so much for that. What's your opinion on the coming Aerodactyl GX? I'm thinking very seriously about that deck. I go to post-rotation, the Fossil Lab, cheesing them out, making basics have to pay additional energy to attack, and having Black Belt, Fighting Dojo, and Diancie for buff seems really strong. I think that Aerodactyl as a whole seems really good. Both the Aerodactyl GX and the non-GX Aerodactyl, I mean, obviously they're in different decks because Aerodactyl, the non-GX, can't have GXs in play. But I do think that both of them are strong. I do have to take another look at the Aerodactyl GX and see what it does, but I don't mind pulling that up on the stream. I would definitely take a look at what that card does there. So we can knock out this Reshiram Charizard GX. We can also pretty safely... Oh, they skipped around my Sledgehammer. So sad. We can also safely knock out this Volcanion, which is kind of cool. And we do have Cynthia here, so we can just knock that thing out. Because this is proving to be a little bit of a pain. So we do kind of have to knock this thing out. But I do just have the Guzma KO on Reshizard. So I think we probably just take that since we have it, right? Because we're doing 60. So actually, we don't quite have it because I'm only doing 60, 70. So, like, they would get KO'd with Shrine, which is, we'll wait another turn. All right. Stunfisk. And we got Cynthia's now. Oh, the Shrine is gone. But we have, there's Shrine. Okay. So, that'll go up to 200. We could do 60. It would be 260. They could theoretically, the reason why I don't want to hit into that is because they could theoretically like Acerola it, which would be like really bad for me. So we don't really want to do that. So we'll just Electropower. We're going to knock out that active Volcanion with Raging Thunder. We can also Ultra Ball away probably Stunfisk and Cynthia. Just get ourselves another Pokemon in play like Absol, who would be pretty good right about now to slow the opponent down. And then we'll Raging Thunder to put damage counters on the Absol. So this is all well and good except for the fact that we don't really have any energy in our hand, but other than that, this hand is looking pretty fire. So we could maybe Ultra Ball for Dedenne and kind of go for it next turn. That's what it kind of feels like. So we'll take that. Raging Thunder, deal 10 damage to the Absol. And our board position is set up very strong right now. I'm feeling pretty good, though we only have taken one prize. We have the option to deal an absolute ton of damage. They have 200 damage on the Reshiram and Charizard GX. No other attackers. The Absol is definitely clutch for slowing this deck down, but no, they have Shining Lugia. Oh, that's pretty bad for me, to be honest. But they don't have a way to accelerate to it, so they have to kind of give me the Reshiram Charizard here. The Shrine sticks as well, so that's really good. Let's just throw that Stunfisk into the active position because the Stunfisk can attack with both energies. But we top deck the DCE, so that's really, really good. We can just do that. Nest Ball, let's see who we can get with Nest Ball here. Probably just another Stunfisk. And I can Raging Thunder for the knockout, which I think is ideal because I get to put 10 damage counters onto my other Stunfisk. Though saving both E-Powers is also really good. So let's kind of just go with saving both E-Powers. I'm kind of into that. We can build up more damage here. So we've got that with 4. This guy with 3. I could always Damage Mover off of 1, you know, to kind of get all my damage in play again. So let's just Electric Trap. There you go. All right. Reshizard's a goner. 150 damage there. Pretty strong. And we're taking 3 prize cards this turn. So a huge draw here off the prizes. My opponent has to fight around the fact that I've got Absol in play. But they do only have 2 prizes remaining, which is very concerning for me. It's been a little bit of a very tight match here against a matchup that should be like very kind of straightforward and free. It's just a close game. We did miss 1 attack against this deck, which just gives my opponent a chance to win the game. If they just knock me out with this Shining Lugia, I can go and knock them out with, I think I promote the Stunfisk without the damage on it. That seems like the play, right? I think I promote this thing. I mean, they actually only have 3 energies, so they might, yeah, they need the 4th, no matter who it is. So I think I promote this thing. It's fine. And if they have the 4th energy, they're going to be able to use Arrow Force to take the knockout on the Stunfisk, which they do. And they're going to let loose. Wow. Okay. That's fine. I mean, I have a guaranteed knockout on the Lugia this next turn because of my Stunfisk on the bench with the DCE. Can Electric Trap for knockout. We draw into a pretty good hand here. That'll be able to double Nest Ball, fail it, and then Lillie up, which is good. The Absol is really my only hope here in this game, though, hoping that my opponent gets jammed up and is not able to launch probably their GX attack with Reshiram Charizard. That's the 3 energy attack that could just win them the game. So here we go. Stunfisk coming in hot. We've got double Nest Ball. I don't think there's anybody here that I want. The Let Loose is probably a good option to have. We could get the Spiritomb as well, and we'll fail the first one. Spiritomb could just get more damage counters in play, which is good, but I think that saving the spot there is probably better. For a potential Let Loose, seems fine. And then we could just use the Electropower. I think I'm going for maybe a Guzma for game here coming down the line, so we'll just do that. E-Power, play the DCE onto like Buzzwole in case it tries to get trapped in the act. I guess actually that Absol can technically attack. Shadow Seeker. This attack does 30 more damage for each in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. Oh, we're going on to Absol, baby. Okay. And then Nate Dog. Thank you so much, Nate Dog, for the Twitch Prime sub. Most excellent stuff. Thank you. So we have a knockout with Electric Trap on this thing. We have the Guzma in hand, so I don't necessarily want to ruin it. Though we could limit them to 1 less card, potentially, with a Let Loose. I don't want to get rid of it, though. So I think we're just going to sit and hope that they ain't got it like that. So we'll do the Building Spray here, put an extra damage counters on this guy. Yeah, we'll Building Spray here, so he's like very close to KO range as well. And across the fingers with Electric Trap. That's it. That's all we got. KO, and hopefully my opponent ain't got the Welder. There's that card. That would have been pretty good, like yesterday. But here we are. Stellar Wish, do they have it? They need Switch, Welder, Fire Energy, Reshiram Charizard. That's a 4-card combo. There's an Ultra Ball. That certainly could help. There's Fiery Flints. That's half of the combo right there. They still need 2 more cards. Need an Ultra Ball for the Reshizard. They're kind of doing it, man. They're doing everything. Makes me feel like they got it. There's the Reshizard. I mean, what more could we have really done? I mean, they just had 2 non-GX attackers. There's the Welder. You got Switch too, man. You got the Switch too. What else could I do? For real, though. What else could I have actually done? Thank you. Do they not have it? What do they got? Fire Energy? If you have the Switch, I'm gonna be yes. Let's go. We got there. What an insano. Can we take the knockout with Can we take the game with Absol? Is that a flex? Right? Well played. Shadow Seeker for game. Dab. There we go. And we go and get it. Insane deck. We got it with the Absol there, finishing things off. Spiritomb Stunfisk. This is the top 8 list from Hunter Butler, North American International Championships. Crazy, crazy deck. Does feel like you're kind of constantly on the edge of your seat with this deck. It is very stressful to play, but that being said, still very strong. We saw that just the onslaught of non-GX attackers being able to hit very high numbers can be tough for most tag team GX decks to deal with.